At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 300 programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint or stain project, saving is at the top of your to-do list. Save now with buy one, get one half off select paints, stains, and primers from top brands like Valspar, HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, and Cabot via Visa gift card rebate. Find more Memorial Day deals now at Lowe's. We help, you save. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Offer valid 5/15 through 5/28.
In a world where fluoride is feared, root canals are rituals of ruin, and every molar might just be the minion of malevolence, one documentary dared to drill deeper. Perhaps a little too deep. The 2019 pseudo-scientific spectacle Root Cause set out to expose a grand dental conspiracy, claiming your innocent toothache might be the ticking time bomb behind your heart disease, cancer, and maybe even bad vibes. But as viewers blinked away confusion and skeptics sharpened their floss, one question lingered like a stubborn case of gingivitis. Is this root canal panic actually rooted in anything real, or just a cavity in critical thinking? This case file joined the theorists as they rinse, spit, and prod at the pulp of paranoia of Big Dentistry.
Welcome to Alien Theorists Theorizing, case file 358. They didn't discuss the anti-dentites. I'm Braden.
The dark side of dentistry.
That's Andrew.
That's me. Well, we got started off with this. How many fucking root canals you boys got?
Yeah, how many? Let's go through it. How many root canals? Zero, boys.
Dude, I have so many.
Dude, that checks out.
Yeah,
that checks out. Honestly, this is starting to make a lot of sense.
So maybe you're not just pale. Maybe you have fucking leukemia.
Jaundice.
When's the last time you got fucking blood work done, man?
One of my front teeth is a fake, like an implant now, so it's been fixed.
Yeah.
The other one is a root canal crown that's dead.
What kind of implant is it? Is it ceramic?
Yeah, or titanium.
Is it titanium?
It's a titanium pin, I think.
You're fucking dead, buddy. That's
you're fucking dead, bud.
In the arms of the angel.
This was such a timely case file.
Crack, hit with a hockey puck. Crack.
It's all those candy bananas. What are you talking about?
Two molars and both front teeth.
Those panned eggs. That's what it is. Don't talk about sports.
I got a root canal crown on both sides.
Oh, really? You just leave them broken. I got a couple broken teeth. Just deal with it. I just don't chew on that side.
Dan, what about you?
One. I have one.
One? Oh my God, dude!
Fuck it.
How could you let those fucking hack jobs do that to you, Dan?
No, I'm pretty sure the whole reason that I got it was because they fucked up in the first place. Is when you go into. When I went to boot camp, like right afterwards, they pretty much pull out your wisdom teeth like right away. They're like, those are gone. And then they did some work on one of my teeth, and it's like they did something back there. Whereas like I think whenever they put it too close together. Like they put the teeth like too close. It put something in there and put it too close together and just like shut off like a thing there. So like something got into my tooth and just kind of like blew it out because it was like they had to take it apart later. And I was like, hey, you guys fucked up in the first place. Just made it shitty. But yeah, I had to get that in.
It's such a timely case file too, because we're like, let's talk about some dentistry. We saw this doc pop off, and then someone was fucking in the Discord talking about how, like, literally as we'd all watched the documentary, someone in the Discord was like, "Oh, I'm kind of feeling a little sick," and then Andrew hits
dizzy, and
Andrew hits like, "You got any root canal?" She's like, "Yeah, I do." And I just hit her with the skull and bones. Like, you're dead.
The best part too, it's like I hadn't even talked to him in like a day.
Yeah.
And like within seconds, I see that. I randomly look at my phone and see that she posts that, hit her with root canal, and then right away Braden's got this fucking the skull and crossbones, and we're like, that's it.
Dead.
Braden mentioned a documentary. The documentary is called Root Cause. You can buy it on YouTube or rent it.
Yeah, and the reason I heard about it was because I don't know. So I think someone sent it to us a while ago, and I had it written down on a piece of paper,
I believe.
Yeah, I had it written down on a piece of paper, and the thing with it was it was wide released on Netflix and Amazon originally, and then within 3 months, the College of Dentites.
What you mean, fucking Big Dentite?
Big Dentite.
Collectively got together and got the documentary pulled from Netflix and Amazon, and all wide releases. So now it's only available on YouTube and other streaming platforms. And the Dentites, obviously, they were like, this documentary is no good. It's misinformation. Pull it. It's based on studies we don't trust and 100-year-old science, and it's going to scare people from dentistry. Which let me tell you something.
I mean, it's already scary,
and dentistry is already the worst.
Dude, there is nothing worse than having somebody's hands in your mouth.
Oh,
dude, honestly, the whole time, I don't even give a fuck. Like, I'm usually just getting maybe a cleaning. That's it. And they're in there with the water pick, but the whole time it's just like, holy fuck, I want to bite this person's hand.
Nothing worse than dental work. Like when you're in there and they put that rubber dam on your mouth now. So it's like your teeth are splayed open.
Yeah.
And they're just fucking
you feel like your jaw's going to be...
Like 90 different devices in your mouth to whatever they're doing. And they're poking and prodding and sawing and cracking and pulling.
As if dentistry wasn't worse enough. Then we find out that they rearrange your fucking midichlorians. Everything's fucked. And that's it. You're fucking dicked.
Well, dentistry is an interesting thing because I've always had I for most of my 20s didn't go to the dentist.
We can tell you had those two fucking yellow boys right in the front there, little yellow chiclets.
Yeah. I didn't have benefits, couldn't afford it. I went to a dentist, I'd get like whatever, I'm cleaning every now and then, but I was like, fuck that, I can't afford these fucking fillings. And the dentist I went to was constantly fucking like being like, you need to get Invisalign, your teeth are gonna fall out. And I was just like, and he was always being like, he'd quote me on fixing like my whole mouth.
Do you think if your teeth fell out, you would instantly start talking to your prospector voice permanently?
Oh, dude.
Just like more and more as each tooth like slowly drooled away from your face.
Yeah. Well, now, hi, boys.
Right? It would just slow transition.
Now, welcome to Haley. No, I would have a turkey tooth, 100%. Right?
Like just that solid tooth?
No, the turkey tooth, just where you open your mouth and it looks like just one solid fucking white. That's 100% what I'd get. I'd go and get the turkey tooth done. Just an enamel grill. Yeah, 100%. It's not a good look, but it's better than having the fucking one tooth for sure. But this guy would quote me like, dude, honestly, like $5,000, $2,500 aside to fix all my teeth. And so I'm thinking like, as like a 23-year-old, I'm like, I'm crippled, right? Like I can't afford $5,000. So I remember the first time when we went to Thailand, I was with Dan and we found a dentist, and I got my whole mouth fixed for like $70, and there wasn't a lot. And like the Thai dentist was like checking because like this guy was like, you got your cavities, dude. Your mouth is a cavity.
Yeah.
And then so I was just like, tooth. Yeah, and I was like in my head, I'm going like, fuck, man, it's fucking brutal.
This is why my fucking breath is so rancid.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And I go to this Thai dentist, and he's like, hey, you got like two. And so he fixes them, and he fixes like some cracks and stuff, and it was like $70. And I was like, holy fuck, like what? So then I always thought
got
that
a fucking HJ after you're done, buddy.
oh,
it's
dude,
Thailand. Let's go.
100%. He had one hand in my mouth, one hand. Just going.
Multitasking.
And it's still only $70, man. What a deal.
Yeah, still only $70. So when I came back to Canada, like in my head, I'm thinking, oh, well, my teeth are definitely fucked still, right? And now I got this weird Thai job, like done.
Thai job.
So when I went to the dentist, and I'm like, yeah, I got a bunch of dental work in Thailand, and I don't know how good it is. They're like, no cavities, and yeah, everything's fine. And so then in my head, I'm like, dude, this motherfucker in Kelowna, like, was quoting me like $5,000 to fix all these fucking cavities and fix all these cracks, and I was like. And there was no issue. So right away, like, my distrust for dentistry is fucking at a, like, dude, 100%. I'll tell you right now, when I go to the dentist, if the dentist tells me I have a cavity, I go and see a new dentist.
Till someone told me
I go get a second opinion. Well, dude, honestly, at my first dentist in Campbell River, I had no cavities. Then one time he's like, you got 2 cavities. I was like, since when? Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed in my life that would all of a sudden, like, rot my. I don't drink juice, like. I just drink that fine wine, but switch dentist.
That might do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
and
absolutely
the
might be worse.
Switch dentist. Dentist is like, and obviously I don't tell him. I'm not like, we got 2 cavities. I go, hey, take a peek. Let's get the X-rays done. Do the thing. No cavities, right? And I was just like, these motherfuckers.
You're going to some bad dentists, man.
Yeah. Well, I got a good one now. It tells me what I want to hear.
Yeah, he's just lazy. Your mouth is riddled with cavities. Like, I don't want to fix this.
He looks at you and goes,
too much work.
Do you want to hear if you have cavities or not have cavities? You go, no cavities. He goes, all right, no cavities, man.
All right, now time for my hand job.
Yeah. But yeah, so like going into this documentary, I was like already my fucking hatred for dentistry is already like max.
We gotta be honest here. We are like, you gotta admit, the climate right now, all-time distrust for anything.
Major distrust
right now. Like, it's
for
crazy.
Any institution, 100%.
Don't believe it.
Well, and this documentary basically
Dan's
says
the worst of us, though. Dan really doesn't believe it. Doesn't believe anything.
Yeah, that's why you've never seen Dan's teeth. Right?
Dan doesn't have teeth this whole time. He has 0 teeth.
He's not seeing.
He's
not seeing.
He just never smiles.
Dan wanted to get ahead of Big Dentistry and just removed his own teeth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Made his own dentures.
He's fucking buddy from Jaws from James Bond. He's got his own metal fucking rack of teeth. Mm-hmm. He's got a grill.
Oh wait, no, he's got teeth. I see him there.
What's he's got those horse donkey teeth like that president.
George Washington.
Yeah, George Washington.
That president.
That one guy.
So this documentary basically says that like it's about this guy who has it doesn't like he has chronic fatigue.
I got to interrupt really quick first, right? Because that opening scene, the reason that leads to all this entire thing, we see this guy get punched out while he's on the beach.
Good life.
He's rescuing a damaged, in distress. He gets fucking one punched, and moral of the story: you know how to slip a punch, or else you're gonna have fucking chronic fatigue and cancer and all this other terrible stuff.
Mind your own fucking business on the road. All right? Don't. If you can say something from a distance, but don't get in the. Run away.
Want to hear something fucking crazy though? So I'm watching this, and I see the scene, and obviously you have like the guy who made the documentary is one of the guys, and then there's a random actor in beside, and I'm like, that guy's fucking familiar, and I go through the Rolodex in my brain really quick. When I was in LA with Jess when she was pregnant with Niall, we went to fucking see Joe Rogan and friends at the Hollywood Improv. And we get sat down to these fucking next to these Aussie dudes. Jess is pregnant. I tie one absolutely the fuck on, obviously, because I got a free DD. And I'm seeing everybody like Tony Hinchcliffe, everybody's there having a great time. And I'm sitting next to these Aussie guys, hit it off with them, beauties, whatever. We're all drunk. We exchange fucking Facebooks, don't think anything of it, whatever. It's the fucking guy, is the actor.
Really?
They got punched out. Isn't that hilarious?
Small world.
Dude, it's crazy. So, yeah.
Did you reach out to him and be like, hey?
I was going to message him and see if we could get him on, but I was like, it's too last minute because I watched the doc like yesterday. But I'm like, it's fucking crazy.
Small world?
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
What was his name? I forgot his name. What was it here?
The filmmaker? I think Alex.
Ben Purser playing himself.
So close. So close.
That's not good. But yeah, so he's like, after this punch, he suffers. And you know what? Honestly, like in my head, I was just like, what? Fuck conky, dude. Conkies last forever.
Dude, a head injury sounds way more fucking significant than a broken tooth, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Right. And it's like, because he describes like a chronic fatigue, headaches. And I'm like, brother.
Impotence.
Yeah, dude, he's like, I couldn't get it up.
Favorite. Goddamn root canal. Sitting there in the bathroom trying to get her fucking up. Fucking root canals. Shit.
Yeah, like, dude, he had like just a slew of symptoms that he just could not figure out. Impotence is and I love how he hammered it up. He's like, I wheeled home a chick way above my league. She was a perfect 10, and then I couldn't perform.
And it's obviously because of a root canal.
But he couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. And I mean, you hear this story with, I mean, tons of people with chronic illnesses, and and you talk to people who have had Lyme disease, and you get this like weird, they go through this almost of trial and error with everything, trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with them. And
that's like one thing I'd want to stress too. It's like this guy seemed like he was extremely proactive, right? Like he seemed like he was somewhat of a healthy living, type person, wanting to surf outdoors, all type of shit. You're fucking textbook Aussie kind of fucking, dude. And he basically went through everything trying to fix this. Like he knew right away, okay, something's fucking wrong. Something's off. This isn't me. And went from normal fucking medical care to like the woo-woo shit.
He went through the full spectrum of woo.
Fucking exhausted. They're doing the fucking the
dowsing rods.
Dosing rods on top of them. Where's the problem? Like this guy tried everything, and it wasn't until he ran into some doctor.
It wasn't until he went down the wrong rabbit hole on YouTube, probably.
Yeah, well, 100%. And he met with a doctor who was like, "Well, have you had a root canal? I'm just curious." And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, you should get that checked. And just like that off comment to him. And he didn't believe it. He's like, fuck that bullshit, right? And so he starts doing all this reading and starts going down this rabbit hole about root canals. And he goes and gets his root canal tested. And it turns out his root canal is infected. Like he has an infection where the root canal was. The tooth is infected. Which this aspect of it was kind of fascinating to me, was I'm like, you always think about it like chiropractors, like there's the College of Chiropractors is just like fucking witch doctors, right? They just protect their fucking trade.
Word for scam artists, but yes.
Snake oil salesman. Like, you know what I mean? There's no fucking, this is just people that have passed this down. Like, sorry if you're a chiropractor, that's the truth.
I mean, there are implications of manipulations and stuff like that do help in like physio settings, but paying $250 for a guy to fucking crack you for that total of 4 minutes and you're
that kind of like chiropractic is more like physiotherapy, the stuff that actually works.
Yeah. To like realign,
actually manipulate your body. But when the worst ones, when they get that little like gun, the little put it on the side of your spine, they're like that'll be $90, please. Excuse me,
dude.
What did you do?
You know what's fucked up though? I don't know what you like. I'll watch I'll get stuck on a loop of those fucking videos because I just love the sound.
Oh,
I love
cracks?
the fucking sound. I
love the parody ones where guys will have like a fucking skeleton. They're like, all right, breathe.
Yeah. And they're like stepping on plastic while they do it. So it's
I'll tell you a quick segue on chiropractors. That'll make you never go to one.
Fuck, boys, we've been on segues lately. I love it.
Fuck, I love them.
I don't want to talk about
Singer of my band.
Segues.
These are tangents, they're not segues. Segues.
Whatever the fuck it is.
Whatever the fuck.
These are tangents, is what they're called.
Tangeways.
Don't ruin our segues.
Tange, baby, tange.
I don't like the connotation to tangent. We'll just call it segue. Segues has a smoother feel.
Segue.
Yeah.
Singer in my band, Cass, his mom, went to a chiropractor, cracked her neck, went blind.
Oh, dude, you rupture your vertebral artery. Like people die from that shit.
Snapped her neck. She went blind instantly. Mm-hmm. No reversal.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So if you're going to go to a chiropractor, stay away from the neck. There's way too much going on through there. Dude, have someone fucking ripping around.
Well, it's crazy, man. You think about it. It's always the same dude in the little sweater. It looks like Buddy from the dipshit from 2.5 Men, right? In his little Alan, his little sweater, gets there, hops up on you, cracks your shit, and you're out. It's crazy.
Back to it. So he he goes through all these different treatments trying to fix himself. Nothing is working. He's got chronic disease. Finally,
Well, nothing diagnosed though, right? Like he just
feels not himself.
Symptoms. He's symptomatic.
And like he's struggling because like people are like, you're full of it, you're a hypochondriac, like get over it. And he's like, something's wrong.
Yeah, man. It's like a lot of people who suffer from like fibromyalgia, that type of shit, right? You get, or like you said with Lyme disease, like that stuff goes forever before it gets diagnosed, right? Like it's hard to treat, or it's hard to test for. Sorry.
Yeah.
And everybody's complaining of these weird litany of fucking, symptoms that don't really add up or make sense. So
he like goes and gets this tooth, and this was the segue I was going to talk about. Like root canals, I didn't know like the history of root canals was like, it was like for the rich. And so like they grind out the tooth, obviously that has the issue. They fucking dig out the root and then they fill that up. And like back in the day, that was something that like only the rich could afford. So it was like a status symbol to keep your teeth. Right.
Totally.
And so that's where that practice come from. It's just to keep your tooth at all costs. And that's because, if you have a full mouth of teeth, it was a status symbol of like, hey, cool. Like you can.
He's got all his teeth. He's not poor.
He's not poor, right? We're not pulling teeth. Yeah. But it does, it did bring the interesting question to me of they brought up in the documentary of like, it's the only place on your body where if something's decaying, you will leave it in. Like if you get gangrene on your thumb or something, you got to lop that motherfucker off. You can't, cut around it and leave it.
Yeah, I mean, I think their big beef with it is the fact that like it's technically a tooth is like an ectodermal organ, essentially, right? Like hair and shit like that.
Yeah,
and so you're leaving this dying tissue in your mouth, right? And then, like Braden said, they'll haul it out and put that good percha shit, in it's like the gum like substance, but like it's so hard to completely sterilize that tooth, right?
And that's the other thing I didn't know is that like the tubules, dental tubules, you have fucking miles of dental tubules.
Not dental tubules, they're microtubules.
That's what it's called.
No, they're just microtubules. We have them everywhere. That's not just in your mouth. Like
the ones in your mouth are called dental tubules.
They're called microtubules, right? Because the problem
with
big
enough for one bacteria to fit through.
Well, bacteria can fit through there, but like macrophages and shit like that, like good, blood cells that are going to clean out bacteria and fight bacteria can't fit in there.
Yeah. So I went on a tangent of figuring out.
Did you go on a tangent or segue? I think you went on a segue.
I think it might be a tangent because I was like, what the fuck are even teeth?
Yeah.
No, I was like,
enamel.
I know you got this fucking tooth in there. So yeah, you have enamel, which I guess I didn't actually know this is the hardest thing in the human body.
Yes.
What? So there you go. Then you have the
unless
dentin.
You're talking about megalithic structures. And then
Depends
things change for
what we're talking about. Then the dentin lies under the enamel. Then the cementrum covers the root of the tooth.
That was amazing.
Cementrum?
Enamel.
Enamel. Enamel.
So what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. I know. It's not like you to fuck.
Enamel. Yeah, you got it. There you go.
First way's better. And then, so you have the cementum covers the root of the tooth and it anchors the tooth to the jaw via, we'll talk about it a little bit more later, the periodontal ligament. And then the pulp is what's the innermost layer of the tooth. Contains all the nerves, the blood vessels, all the tissue, all the shit that's going to get infected. And that's what they drill into, hollow all that shit out, and then pack like the fake shit in, kill the root, trying to sever the tooth from the body. So if there is an infection, it supposedly does not get into your body. That's what they say. But then there's some of these dentists, the anti-dentists. What do you call these guys? Because they're still dentists, but in the documentary,
they're holistic. They're in holistic dentistry.
Okay,
yeah.
So they don't believe in root canals because of this potential for.
They don't necessarily say that
if you don't get it all out, potential. Because I'm sure.
They think that it's problematic. They essentially say it's like problematic because not everybody's going to react the same way to a root canal. Is what they say. They called it bio-individuality or some shit like that.
It's the same as like. Oh, sorry. Continue.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, there's like people who
just wanted
smoke.
to interrupt me, so why don't you finish? I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Not first of many. Get ready.
Yeah.
I got a whole list of interruption points here. Actually, I asked ChatGPT.
Whole list of segues.
What's the best way to interrupt people on a podcast?
Yeah.
Now, what was I talking about? I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry, buddy. I should have just let you go.
You're about to segue back over to Andrew.
What were you talking about?
So it's funny. One of the things you like, because you said like not the. You were talking about the biodiversity and different people.
By individuality.
There's one dentist that was like, "Do you care about your health? Then get them all out of your fucking mouth." He's like, "That's it." Like he was basically like, there is like you cannot. His study that he said is that every single root canal that they pulled
got abscessed.
Was infected.
Yeah, they all abscessed.
And every single one, 100% of them had abscesses or that shit. Every single one in his study was checked. And he's like, you get them out of your mouth.
His fucking quadruple blind study of 4 people that are all on his payroll.
No, I was going to say the biodiversity stuff is like someone who can smoke for 70 years and be fine, and then somebody smokes for 2 years and they get fucking heart disease.
Or somebody who just doesn't smoke and still gets fucking lung cancer.
Yeah, there's no guarantees.
Yeah. Which is pretty, like, that's such a good blanket way of covering your ass in this situation.
Yeah,
honestly, like it's how any of this shit works, right?
They quoted some wild statistics in this fucking documentary that were just
every girl with breast cancer,
97% was the.
If you have breast cancer in your left breast, you will have a root canal in the left side of your mouth.
Now, 97% of breast cancer patients had a root canal on the same side as their cancer, is what they claimed in that. 97%.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
In that logic, it means that your body is split in half, and the blood will transport the bacteria or cancer cells only to one half of your body.
Blood is definitely not systemic. Like that, it doesn't make sense, obviously.
No, the bacteria is traveling the lightning.
No,
the way they say it, they say like they had root canal on side of their mouth. It's like, well, they could have a root canal on the other side of the mouth too, but it just says they had root canal work on the side of the mouth where they had breast cancer. So you could just, there is no study that's done that.
It's not. It's not through blood.
That study.
But listen,
I tried
it's not
to
through
find
blood.
that study, and it's like
there's the bacteria. Yeah, the bacteria is riding the lightning on the meridians.
That's what I'm saying. It's metachlorians, the energy pathways that connect your organs to your systems. And
what was the other one? They said like, and then they had another statistic where they were like, all of the, what was it, like, people on a study between 35 and 70 all have like work and like dental work that's been abscessed or something like that. I was like, that's huge. That's a huge range.
The other problem for me,
you're gonna find people who have had like dental work done. Like what?
Yeah, filling.
Well, when you explain the what happens with the root canal and stuff, I go, yeah, okay, that is weird. Like, how do they ensure that there isn't infected dead tissue? Like, it brings questions for me. I've been like, is there no effects from this? But like when you start linking this to like, dude, so many people have root canals. It's a very popular fucking option for
millions
dentistry,
a day, millions,
right? That you're like, I think he said 23 million a year. That's crazy. He said in the documentary. It's like, so you can link any kind of cause to a root canal. Like if it's like,
what about Dr. Weston Preston or Weston Price's fucking experiment where he took root canal treated teeth and implanted them in rabbits?
Dude, I was like, what is this? The island of Isn't this the fucking island of Dr. Monroe or whatever? I was like, this was okay. I was like, they were just fine with this guy fucking putting dead teeth in the backs of rabbits.
Yeah, that would have nothing to do, right? That would have nothing to do with the actual like operation of doing that. That wouldn't have anything to do with infection. It'd be the tooth.
You just implanted it fucking gnarly human teeth in a fucking rabbit. God.
Well, and then I love that. I loved because they said what happened in the study is I guess he did this with, I don't remember, 30 rabbits, and they all developed the same, illness. And he took the same tooth out of each rabbit and put it. And I was like, yeah, but wouldn't that ruin your study? Because if you're taking the fucking tooth that you've put in a rabbit and you're taking that tooth out and then putting that tooth in another rabbit, I was like, isn't like you've now had it in the other rabbit? Is there when you say this one caught it now?
There was no chance of like introduced bacteria from any other cause during all that. Oh my! The shit they used to do, like when Tangent, segue coming up.
Segue.
Like when there was the AC DC like electric battle between like when they used to like electrocute elephants with AC power. Like, look how dangerous it is. You can, if you put this huge amp circuit against this, it'll melt them. Like, yeah. Yes, it will. You could do that with any power if you had enough power.
And the way they quote the study, they're like, yeah, he put those teeth on rabbit and they started showing the same symptoms as the people who had the abscess tooth. I'm like, yeah, because they had the infection. Like, the fuck? Like,
yeah, wow, they're all mammals, septic.
They're all mammals that respond in the same way to infection, very much a similar way.
That guy should have went further. He should have went further with the study. He's like, see it happen in rabbits now. I'll prove it in humans. And
he's like, I puts it back in his mouth.
Yeah, prove it, buddy. Pull your own tooth out and implant that and see what happens.
I'm just too busy picturing rabbits with human teeth.
Yeah, it is a terrifying.
Fucking weird.
That's an AI picture right there. Make that.
Well, no, he was putting them in their back.
It's so horrible because you think about it, like the poor rabbit's like bleeding gum and you just jamming it in there. Like, how you make it stick? What are you doing? Like, what the fuck are we doing here? You know what I mean?
He was cutting their backs open and putting his teeth under the skin.
Rabbit mouth.
You just wanted to get this flesh out the
rabbit's teeth.
Just got a big
that's what I thought they were doing the whole time. I thought
under the skin.
I'm with Andrew. I thought they're.
I'm literally picturing them fucking.
Because rabbits have big.
You can't
teeth
tell me you
with.
don't picture that as soon as you hear that's just a rabbit with a giant human smile.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Well, rabbits have big teeth already, so it made sense in my mind. Like, well, maybe that fits.
Yeah, it's human.
He's
teeth.
like, I'm going to use rabbits because you can fit enough human teeth in their mouth because they're big teeth.
Yeah, I love it.
No, so like the other interesting thing I found was like the fucking witch doctor, the really crazy lady who was like. The meridians, each tooth is fucking aligned with a meridian to different parts of your body.
We're talking like ancient Chinese medicine, right? Like this shit's been around a long time.
And she was like putting electricity through people and like touching the spots that corresponded with different teeth and showing that there's an electrical pathway, except on people with root canals, she would show on her fucking machine. She's like, blockage. And I was like, I have to take her word for it because I didn't know how any of her fucking equipment worked.
That's naturopaths use that fucking machine. It's super hokey. It's shitty because there's a lot of naturopaths that are legit, but like this, they literally, you like hold on to these two little fucking metal rods.
Yeah.
And it connects to this machine. And then the machine, they'll put like these little jars with like different food in them and stuff to see what you're allergic to or how you react to stuff and how it like interrupts your electrical signals and all that. And you're just like, oh, God.
Yeah, there's a lot of hokey stuff. But like a lot of the ancient, you could say like ancient Chinese medicine, a lot of that is just like pharmaceuticals, but natural. Like this plant grinded up, it's like aspirin, or this plant does this or whatever. That stuff's all good. But it's the weird stuff where like you're making connections out of nothing. You're like, huh?
Her whole thing where it's like it's hard for me to take people seriously when they talk when she talks in the first person about stuff that she's done, and she doesn't say like we have done this, like she has a team of like doctors or been like who've all tested this, or peers who she's worked with and been like we found that blah blah. No, she says I've found. Then to me that just like my bullshit detector's kind of like flies off.
Her metachlorians are fucking not.
I'm like, okay. Like I mean, there's stuff to be said about the placebo effect, which is definitely like a thing. It does happen. Yeah. And there's stuff for visualization and positive qualities and those kinds of things. And I think that to some extent, but the stuff she's talking about is like trying to quantify something that may or may not exist and just being like, yeah, I did this and this happened. And you're like, okay, well, did you test for like other things as to why that worked, or you just did it and you said, well, this works?
Well,
okay.
Brings up an interesting point for me too, because there was actual people in the documentary that talk about their chronic illnesses and, same kind of story as the filmmakers who went and then got, their root canal tested, got their root canal pulled, like the tooth completely pulled and cleaned out, and then their symptoms cleared up of their other ailments. So it did cross my mind. I was like, is the placebo effect that strong that just the physically going in and getting the tooth removed clear up those symptoms, and they they were just kind of manifesting those symptoms.
Yeah, but they've done
themselves.
so many other treatments, I'd imagine, right? Especially like the filmmaker, like the first fucking thing where he could have latched on then and be like, oh, it's great, placebo works, like.
Yeah, exactly. So then, like, to me, I'm like, is there some sort of link that, perhaps that is, for some people, the cause of some of these issues?
Well, I agree. And I'm going to say, because there's so many of these done all the time, no one's perfect. I wouldn't be surprised if just some are just not done perfectly and they do.
100%.
And they do.
Absolutely.
Some of this stuff does happen, but it's not like every root canal leaves dead tissue, and that dead tissue is infecting your blood and your meridians, and then that's affecting your plaque in your blood, and that's affecting your heart, and that's affecting your sleep.
Of bio individuality.
Yeah. So I mean, it makes sense. Like, we got a lot of pilots.
Could you imagine?
Some planes still crash.
We've instantly, like this documentary, like, holy fucking shit. They just busted the door wide open. You got ambulances showing up. This guy's having a fucking jammer. Open up his mouth. Well, let's start pulling, boys.
Pull the heart tooth. Pull the heart tooth.
Right? Like,
got the manual. Which one's the heart tooth?
Everyone's wearing fucking medical bracelets, root canal, incisor on your wrist.
Fuck. I can't get hard again. Better go to the bathroom and yank this fucking thing out. Like, it's so fucking bogus.
Well, I mean, there is an aspect of it that seems so hokey pokey that you're like, there's no fucking way. But like, when I watch this documentary and I see, like, honestly, if they left the fucking electricity lady out of it, I probably would have been more sold.
I mean, those other guys, they were a little bit more eloquent, but they're on the same page.
They're
that
still
one guy talking about cardiology, he's like, the fact I can't stand cardiologists not bringing up the fuck, and it's like, oh my god,
my tooth. Yeah, like, cardiologists. They call themselves cardiologists. They don't even talk about the root canals.
Didn't they say something? It's like the number one cause. The American Heart Association said the number one cause. I tried to look up that statistics. I was like, nowhere does it say. There's absolutely no statistic.
They claim the guy claims that the number one cause of heart
study. They did a study after the documentary came out. They did a study like trying to.
Heart attacks? Was it heart attacks?
No, it was like between cardiac conditions and then like endodontic or whatever, and they try to they went through that stuff and like tested that. No link, zero. They're like, there's not enough evidence to support that kind of link that specifically like that guy mentioned. I was like, holy shit. I was like, okay,
Yeah, I mean, it's
some of the stuff there's stuff to say about it that it's like, yes, mouth health is important. And the stuff
I went down that tangent too, Dan.
Well, your mouth is considered part of your stomach, right? Like it's important. Everything that you ingest, everything that you leave in your mouth, if it's not clean, if it's not clean and maintained, there's going to be problems.
But I'm saying, and then like the whole thing about them saying like, oh, you're leaving a dead thing in your mouth. But I'm also like, yeah, but if you don't, then your bite becomes uneven, and then you end up like biting stuff in it, and then it fucks up the other side of your tooth. Like, I mean, there's studies that have been shown that, like, before.
Making that argument would be like, though, for me, is like, if I get frostbite on my hand, I'm like, yeah, but if I amputate the fingers, it's gonna fuck up my grip. And you're like, well,
it's like, but having like
you have a black finger,
but having like a prosthetic there. I'm not saying like, yeah, you can cut the fingers off and replace them with a prosthetic, like, and you could still have a grip.
Should we be doing that with teeth too?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is because you do. I mean, it's like people getting their legs cut off and you're like, well, we can give you prosthetics to walk, like, or something like that, or giving a person a glass eye, like it kind of a prosthesis.
Dude, I will say that my fake front tooth is 10 times stronger than my other tooth. I got this fake tooth in. I then went and played hockey again, got a puck right in the face, chipped the other crown. The tooth that was fake, no change. Perfectly fine.
Your fucking face is just a magnet for the puck.
Now, I haven't played hockey now in 5 years. Next time I play, I'm going back to bubble. Full bubble.
Sure.
This is so stupid. Why? There's no point.
And your teeth are getting chipped too because you've worn out all the enamel, eating all those fucking panned eggs. That they're just your teeth. I bet your teeth. Anymore. I bet you can fucking if you clench your teeth hard enough, your teeth compress in. They're so soft. It's like gold. It's like gold.
They like compress. Pliable. Like
very malleable,
like sponges, like marshmallow teeth. Just
the only thing holding your bite together is your fake teeth touching each other. That's what it is.
So that's a pro for dentistry. Fake teeth. No, Dan was talking about health of the mouth to like body, and you always hear that like, oh, your mouth health is gut health and all the plaque and stuff. But I guess like gingivitis leads to like what periodontitis, so severe gum disease, and they can trigger like plaque, and that plaque actually can get in your bloodstream and
and give you a jammer, man.
Can contribute to heart disease and diabetes because it makes it's harder to like regulate your blood sugar, and it's prevalent with arthritis as well. So you have
but it's common sense too when you think about the fact that you're like the more shitty stuff that's going to have negative effects in your mouth, it's going to have fucking systemic negative effects.
Yeah.
Right? You're hammering fucking panned eggs and chocolate bars and red wine like Braden.
It's also
you're going to fucking other things are going to start going wrong.
Shut up. I'm defending my honor here, boys. I'm defending the honor of the panned eggs. You can eat panned eggs.
Will be putting.
You can eat chocolate and you can eat candy if you exercise
in moderation.
All right. If you exercise, it doesn't matter what you eat. Right? Calories in, calories out. That's why I learned.
No, it's lies. It's
eat 4,000 calories of candy a week. No. If I'm doing 4,100 calorie burn exercise.
So you're in deficit. You're losing.
I'm losing.
You definitely go without saying that you shouldn't take medical advice from us.
Dude, and it's honestly, I've lost all like trust in documentaries even too. Ever since I found out that the fucking Super Size Me, the guy was like an insane like he died of alcoholism. Yeah. He was such an alcoholic the whole time that he was eating the McDonald's. It had nothing to do with the McDonald's. Why he was fucking sick.
I usually
he was fucking boozing so insane.
No, he'd be sick if he was coming off the booze though, unless he was like giving himself cirrhosis.
Dude,
or some shit.
He died of cirrhosis.
Oh, did he? Jesus.
As a personal thing, I usually avoid a lot of documentaries, not just because of the general nature of what most of them become, unless it's a history documentary, like specifically very dry, maybe a Ken Burns thing, or it's a nature documentary, which is fun. But any of the other ones, like these ones, it's always kind of like
the more conspiracy, the better.
I'd rather just read it. Like I'd rather just like give me the articles and the statistics that you quoted in your thing, and then I'll go read it. But like having them kind of put the information out there and usually trying to put on some type of spin, I'm just like, because I mean, it's like
then you're poo-pooing what we do. That's literally what we do.
I'm just like,
well, it paints a bias. Like, you definitely see a bias in this. But I mean, when they're talking to the filmmaker, like even at the end of the film, he's like, I can get hard again. And I just wanted to share my experience that like, if you're having issues,
just to make things clear. I get erections.
I get massive hard erections.
I bang chicks. Okay, I know it was in there, but like I fucking bang.
I pull way above my.
My leg. I'm missing teeth, but I still fuck. Yeah,
that could have been left out of the documentary. The guy was a normal looking guy. All right, he wasn't like an ugly guy. I was like, I'm not saying. I'm like, yeah, man, you're probably doing all right. Like, it's fine. You don't have to flex that.
No, I get that at the end. No, I totally get that at the end. That guy was pushing rope. He showed us all these pushing rope because of his root canals. He's got to come back strong.
Now, what was the timeline from getting his tooth broken and being
like 5 years, I think, because he was
he went to Thailand and he went to Thailand and had a panic attack in the middle of the jungle.
That's when it started, right?
Yeah, kind of like
that's what that happened to me and Zell too, but it had nothing to do with our root canals. It had everything to do with some type of the opium that we may or may not have smoked.
May or may
whatever it was.
Confirm nor deny what drug it was.
I have no idea, but whatever it was,
just wonder if that guy
may or may not have been from a guy called Dr. Feelgood.
Yeah,
it's a long glass pipe.
I doubt his PhD. He didn't show me his PhD, but he just said it was
a real doctor. I don't think.
This kind of plays along with the placebo effect kind of stuff that we were discussing earlier. And like, this is not to shit on anybody whatsoever, right? Because he definitely makes it very clear, like there was no event that stimulated this anxiety response, right? Like there was no deciding factor that sent him into an anxiety attack. So it's like makes me wonder if maybe there's like a mental health component with this dude, where I believe like maybe if he truly did buy into one of these treatments more than the other, he, being mentally ill, he could convince himself that he was fine after that because he had manifested these issues.
Or the other thing is, so he had this root canal. Maybe he did get a little sick from it, and maybe his body just eventually fought it off. That's also could have happened. It's possible. Like maybe it wasn't a great root canal.
After how many years though?
The thing is, I think
one guy said you could have if you have a bad root canal. He's like, it could be 50 years.
Yeah, your whole life.
You could be your life. You could be slow and tired and feel like shit because of this root canal.
So let's just say, because they say
either root canal or have kids. It's not the exact same symptoms, man.
It's like 50. So anything in that huge gap, you could be like anything 20 years. He said, it's like it was 5 years.
100 years.
Been anything? You were in Thailand? Like, what were you doing in Thailand? Like, what were you eating? Would you not have like? It could have been. Oh my god.
No man, you just got gonorrhea from Thailand.
But the thing is, so like with that though, like let's just say on his, like for him, he has the 5 years. And he goes and he gets this root canal tooth pulled. Like maybe he did have like genuinely a bad root canal done.
Yeah.
Because they also said that they cut the blood flow to the area. So it's like if there is a site of infection, that your body has no natural way to get like white blood cells to the area to fight off this infection.
Even though like the tubules are too small for the white blood cells to really get in there and fight.
So it just seeps into the jawbone.
Here's my question. Like, if you have that gnarly of an abscess and you've had it for that long, you would go septic.
Well, that's
what I don't understand. Like you would go septic and you would fucking die, or you'd go into the hospital with sepsis symptoms and get treated for it. And then we'd have to be like, where is this coming from? Let's give them a broad spectrum antibiotic to fight this. Like,
well, and the debunking of it when you're like, a root canal is really causing all these diseases. They go, no, because when the canal is done and is drilled and sealed, if there is infection, it doesn't spread. It's only if it's done poorly. And if it's done poorly, then there's enough avenue for any type of antibiotic or anything to get into that tooth to fix it.
So you have just this localized infection.
They say there is actually just no infection because they say that this is not a real thing. That's when in the end where that's what you come to.
Oh, that's the debunking. Sorry.
It's like
Sorry, I thought you were talking about the fucking.
No, like the debunking is like, all right, you have this root canal, and if it was done properly, there is no spread of infection because it's done properly and it doesn't spread because it can't spread because there's no blood flow, and even if there's like this 1 micron thick tubule, that actually doesn't transfer anything. Nothing gets in. It's nothing. So there's no and if it was done poorly, then there is an avenue. Then antibiotics can help. Then you go in again and fix it either by removing the whole tooth now because it was all fucked up, or fixing the canal.
Which they do those cone scans now. Most of the time, like they don't do the regular X-rays anymore. Like
they have the full 360 thing.
Yeah, they do the full cone scan, which is what they
100%.
were which they're advocating for. And like that's something I'd like to like. This documentary, they do have a lot of hocus pocus stuff with electricity, but for the most part, like I did find that they were kind of advocating for like a more holistic and like proactive approach to health and dentistry, which I think is fucking great.
That should be number one, right? It should be number one.
Amazing. I think that's great, especially in situations like fucking root canals. But when you want to start spreading shit about cancer treatments and stuff like that and getting into people's ears with fucking magical herbs and smudging and fucking metachlorians and it's going to fix your fucking cancer, you can fucking fuck off.
Well, I don't think he said it was going to fix your cancer. I think my understanding of the claim was
I'm not saying that this guy's saying. I'm saying that's the problem with these type situations, right? Of promoting this, like it's okay to be proactive and holistic and stuff like that, but you need to be realistic because you do. It's like somebody like my mom who genuinely believed that fucking cutting open her. I'm not lying to you. She cut open her leg, her ankle, and stuck a chickpea in her leg and taped it in there and would keep that in and change it once a month because she believed that the chickpea was going to leach the cancer from her bloodstream.
Because she heard it somewhere
because of this type of shit.
Yeah.
No, it's true. It's because of this kind of stuff, right? Like she opted to do that instead of get chemo and radiation because you can't blame her. That stuff is going to kill her too. But still, like that's where I have it beef. Like I have no problem with people making more conscious choices and being healthier and stuff like that. I see a naturopath more than I see my fucking doctor, right? I bind it. But when it's you use this and this only, and that's where it gets scary, especially when people make claims like pull all your fucking root canals. This is the reason for all your problems. Like that's where I have my beef.
A lot of the conclusions that these doctors say, it's all anecdotal stuff. They're like, well, one time I had this patient come in and this one thing happened and then I pulled the tooth out and everything went back to normal. And they're like, okay, well, that was one person. Like you're going to make a conclusion based on that.
Yeah,
that one
could have
person.
been for that one person was the right, the right thing.
Yeah, totally.
You know, or like it could have been something else in their health history. It could have been a whole bunch of other things, but they're just like, no, just we did this one thing and that's it. And then okay, like. So maybe try it a couple other times with some other people.
And I want to add that, like, again, this is the what was it? Individuality. The thing with that is like if you're listening to this and you have some sort of chronic illness and you're like, fuck, I got a root canal and I've tried everything, and you're thinking, I just got to go get these teeth pulled. You can go and get some tests done. You can go get an X-ray done to see if there is a site of a cone X-ray. You can get them to test it. Don't just go first resort pulling tooth. Like get it checked. But like,
hey Braden, you go to the dentist tomorrow. Cavities out of control. Teeth are fucked. You've been gluttonous. Infected. We all know it's time for a few of these things to go. The only way to do it, because Mr. Conspiracy gave you a little shot in the chops, root canal. You getting one?
Tomorrow? Like am I getting a root canal?
You getting?
If you had to,
you're on the clock. You had to tomorrow.
It's like this thing's infected.
I might ask.
It's going to spread.
I might ask. I'm going to ask. Like, well, how do you make sure there's no infection?
And
like
this guy's going to look at you and be like, no fucking problem, buddy. The bingo, bango, bongo. We're going to get in there. We're going to fucking just get the root down there. We're going to kill it. We're going to put that perchima fucking shit in there, and everything's good. I do 20,000 of these a fucking year.
Listen, I'm already fat. I can't have missing teeth, so I'm obviously doing it. But I'm obviously going to be on the lookout for fucking new symptoms. You already have one sign of wealth.
You're obese. You need another one? Like, come on.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, I have no real money, right? So I just have to look.
Dan, don't give me those eyes. Back in the day, they used to consider fat people fucking wealthy because
but everybody can get fat now. And actually, that's probably one of the reasons why getting fat is easier now because everybody's got because most of the people are eating high sugar diets.
You got 10 seconds left on the clock. Root canal or not?
Root canal or
I'm getting the root canal.
You're getting it?
100%. I'm getting the root canal. I'm not. 100%.
I'm not.
Root canal or
no?
Death.
No.
Good, nice choice.
I'm not getting the root canal.
Root canal or death, Braden. That's what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got to say that I am in the back of my head. It makes sense of like,
I'm not doing it.
If this was rot enough that you have to drill it out, why are you leaving it in? Like that's a question in my head of like, are we sure that there's no more like decay in there? Are we sure that there's no infection?
That's not how it works though, Braden. It's usually your tooth is broken. It's not rotting or decaying yet, and they do this preemptively to prevent that because you have a crack.
They just do these preemptively?
Well, if
why?
you crack your tooth under the gum like that and it's in the like too close to the root and they can't save the tooth, that's what they do.
I thought that only happened to dogs. That happens to people?
That's what when I broke my molar specifically, he said it's broken under the gum.
Are you chewing on bones, dude? What are you doing?
With a hockey puck in the mouth.
What are you doing?
Stop trying to bite it.
What are you fucking gnawing on?
Fuck.
He's trying to catch the hockey puck in his mouth.
Chewing dog toys, dude?
If your tooth was so infected already when you went there, they would pull it. They wouldn't leave it in. If you went there with an abscess tooth and it was swollen and gross, they're probably going to pull it because you've left it linger for too long now.
Well, the other problem is if you're looking at this documentary and you're like, oh, thank God I don't have any fucking root canals. They also say if you had wisdom teeth removed, you're just as fucked.
Yeah, cavitations.
Cavitations, baby. If
the
even worse though, because there's four roots of the root of the like the molar and the.
Do you know any like? I know so many people that were told like, oh yeah, we got to get those fucking things out. Never did, no problems.
I got one out.
I got all four.
I have three. I have three of these wisdom teeth. One didn't grow, so I'm evolving. Two are frozen, so they left them, and I got one removed.
Yeah, I got one side that grew in, the other one they never ended up growing in. They told me they're like, we gotta rip both sides out, and never did.
You're
no
like,
problems.
That.
No,
I got all four out.
Weird.
No problems.
Yeah, I got all 4 of mine out too.
Most people get them out.
But yeah, but here's the thing,
I saw everybody everybody who goes in the military, they get them out.
Just
really? Hey, they like will put you on the shelf for you.
They'll pretty much like when you're in they're pretty much when you go through boot camp, they're like, "Do you have wisdom teeth? We're getting those out." Like we're just
they don't want them to grow in later or something.
It must make you more subservient, right? There's something in the wisdom teeth, right? The wisdom, that's what the wisdom is, baby.
Guess what?
It's right in the fucking name.
One of those 4 roots of the wisdom tooth, one's connected to the brain, makes you smarter. That's what I've learned from this documentary, I think.
Well, I don't know, because Dan doesn't
the brain,
have them.
the heart, the body, and the spirit are the 4 roots of the molar, and if you leave it in, you're better off. That's what I heard.
I don't know.
That lady.
I mean, I could use a break, so maybe.
The lady is wild.
It did freak me out enough that I would be. I'm not doing like it. If they told me I had to get a root canal, I'd be like, what else can we do? Because honestly, I'll say this. I forgot to add this. I was told by that dentist that one of my back molars was cracked and I would have to get a root canal. And when I went and saw the Thai dentist, he drilled that tooth out and just filled that sucker up. And I always thought, I was like, there's no way that was a good job.
Are you sure he didn't do a root canal?
I'm pretty sure you got a fucking root canal, pal.
No.
They don't drill out a cavity like that. They clean it out a little bit and then they
you got a fucking root canal.
Dude, it's huge. No, I didn't get a root canal.
You got a fucking root canal, pal.
I've seen the x-rays.
Buddy,
I didn't get a root canal. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to
me. Were they in there like drilling for a long time? Like,
yeah, and he just said big cavity.
He root canaled
Big cavity.
Dude, you got a root canal.
And,
You're in Thailand.
So I went and got that checked. Dude, I've seen the x-ray. Sure. It's just a big old, I was like, it's more filling than tooth. But that tooth, they told me I'd have to get a root canal. Now it's just a full-on fucking filling.
You already got
it's just
one.
A filling tooth.
Hey, well, maybe that tooth did need a root canal. They filled it, and that infection is now spreading through your body.
Oh, my God.
And that's why I'm so fat and tired.
And that's why you're fat and tired.
100% of people who get root canals die in 80 to 70 years.
Yeah. I mean, that's a
real stat.
That's a good stat. That makes sense.
That's 100% true stat.
That's a good
and
stat.
if that doesn't scare you, you need to wake up about the fucking dentites and what they're doing to people.
Okay, boys, we got to take a quick beer break here because I have to bring this baby monitor inside. I forgot. And then I want to talk about nothing to do with it's not conspiracy, blah, 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 about it's your health, it's an infection. It's like, it's for money. That's why they're doing it. It's just for money.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Everything's for money.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back.
What's going on? It's Braden here. Let me tell you about the online cannabis company that's revolutionizing how we deal with life challenges, from sleepless nights and to stress-filled days. And let me tell you, I know all about that with brand new twins. Mood.com has created an entire line of functional gummies that target specific health concerns with 100% federally legal THC blends. They'll deliver them discreetly right to your doorstep. I've tried a bunch of their gummies myself, and it's wild how different each one feels. And they have gummies for literally everything: immune support, menopause relief, what Andrew needs, a little PMS symptoms, mental clarity, sexual arousal. So head to mood.com, browse their amazing selection of functional gummies, and find the perfect gummy for whatever you're dealing with. And remember to use promo code ALIEN at checkout to save 20% on your first order.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint or stain project, saving is at the top of your to-do list. Save now with buy one, get one half off select paints, stains, and primers from top brands like Valspar, HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, and Cabot via Visa gift card rebate. Find more Memorial Day deals now at Lowe's. We help, you save. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Offer valid 5/15 through 5/28.
We're back. So yeah, basically, like, long short of this documentary, this whole documentary was fucking put together to let you know that this guy fucks hot chicks.
Yeah, he rails.
And he does
His dick
more.
does get hard.
Yeah, he gets hard, and he bangs hot chicks.
Yeah,
he wants you to know.
That's the takeaway. Yeah,
he really hammers it home, right?
Pulls way above his grade.
Punches above his weight
super
class.
hot chicks. Yeah, you wouldn't even. It's unbelievable.
If you get your tooth removed, you will also pull hot chicks.
Yeah, that's
But you got to see a holistic fucking dentist.
Yeah.
It's the only way proper to do it. And then they inject that ozone therapy into your jaw, and it travels around and cures you of all your
Make sure you go to
problems.
Thailand to have a panic attack first.
Yes.
Well, and they were also like, you can't get root canals, but you got to get fucking toilet bowl ceramic in your mouth. None of that titanium, and you got to go to a holistic.
So what they put
dentist.
like a ceramic pin instead of a titanium pin? Is that what they?
Yeah, it's like a ceramic screw instead of a titanium.
Which is crazy to me because I'm like, people have titanium in their bodies.
Yeah.
It's pretty normal.
Well, they use
I
titanium.
know. I've heard a guy that's
an
got
inert
adamantium
metal.
in his fucking body.
It's inert metal. That's why they use titanium with all the screws and all their pins and your broken bones.
Adamantium is not biocompatible. That's why his healing factor sucks.
Yeah, adamantium
Who's
actually
healing
kills you.
Oh, yeah.
Titanium is biocompatible, apparently. That's what I heard about that. Interesting enough.
So that's weird. So a ceramic one would be not as strong, but it doesn't.
Yeah. And you can get root
Poison?
canals as long as you go to a
Isn't
holistic
ceramic,
dentist.
isn't that like a natural substance? Ceramics, what they make it, like how they make it?
Isn't that just like fucking clay?
It's just
Yeah,
like
but it's
powdered
like-
stone.
Like
What
heated up
is
clay?
ceramic?
Because I think that's the whole point with these holistic guys is usually natural products.
By firing inorganic, non-metallic substances like clay at high temperature.
Dude, just mud, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
Porcelain.
That's natural.
Literally, rub some dirt in it. Literally.
I mean, a lot of stuff's natural. Though doesn't mean
Hot
it's
dirt.
good.
You gotta heat
Fluoride's
the-
also
you gotta heat it
natural.
up, though.
Yeah.
Fluoride's a natural chemical and is also neurotoxic. Well, we put it in our water supply some places because it reduces cavities by 20%.
Stops you from getting root canals. What's worse?
Yeah, sure. Pick your poison, baby.
Let's go.
That's
your
a whole
poison.
other thing.
So
Fluoride in
what
the
do you,
water.
would you
What's going on
would
there?
you want to? What segue or tangent did you want to go on after? You were saying they were just doing
Okay,
this for
so
money?
yeah, so we have all this. So root canals, I mean, statistically safe. Seems like it, right?
Yeah.
To the point where so safe that they do so many and they make so much money that, as Braden was saying, you go to the dentist and you go, you need a root canal. You're like, really? It's like, yep, you need one because it's safe in their opinion. It's expensive, but you need it because your tooth is going to decay and then you're going to get a blood infection. So are some dentists just popping root canals left and right
100%.
for money? That's
100%.
that's the conspiracy.
100%. Think about all the overhead that goes into a dentist office. It's like, so these are like private clinic run by the dentist, right? Sometimes two or three, but it's like all the equipment. Think about how expensive all that fucking equipment is.
Oh, yeah.
And then rent on top, right? And it's not like, you know, if everyone is coming in with fucking good teeth and you're doing a good job keeping all your patients oral health up and good, like you're not making any fucking money.
I'd argue that it's bigger than that. I'd say that Big Denti is just an offshoot of Big Pharma because it's about the treating of the fucking chronic illnesses that are caused from the root canals.
Oh, they're intertwined.
It's intertwined. It's a giant web of big. Right?
Big web.
Listen,
Big web.
these root canals you're doing are really selling our autoimmune disease pills, you know?
Totally.
They're really fucking, they're popping these. So I want you to do a couple more. How many are you doing this year? 100,000?
Pepe Silva,
I need
man.
250,000 root canals this year.
It's all connected.
Well, could you imagine, like, well, I don't, like, again, but like, if there's dentists who have special interest groups that come in and be like, oh, yeah, we'll supply you with, you know, your fucking cone x-ray. But what we need from you is like between 2,500 to 3,000 root canals a year. Like, that's what we're selling. That's what we're product. Like, you got to push these products because
dentists push
gonna
all the
fund
good
this.
drugs too.
It's true.
And get your opiates from the fucking dentist.
Like, it doesn't come down to kind of a moral thing, or like the dentist, like individually, like
Dan,
they kind of be like,
this is big. Okay,
Big
web.
dentites.
This is big conspiracy. There is no morality. It's all
gotcha.
dark cloaks and
All the
sinister
dentists
laughing.
are just programmed
Yeah.
automatons
Yeah.
to push all the.
So they got
Yeah,
that big
well, dude.
fucking silver thing on their head.
and if you don't push the narrative, you got to fucking answer to the college.
yeah, that's
Right?
why we had. Well, we got those few the Rebel Alliance, the holistic dentists.
And that one Thai doctor that did
Fixed your teeth. Yeah. That gives you root canals that you didn't ask for.
I don't
no
know.
root canal.
The guy's been dealing with some chronic illnesses for a while, so
Yeah.
And we're sure there's a...
The chronic illness, you know what? For Braden, the chronic illnesses are stemming from his cracked teeth that he didn't get root canal that infected and poisoned his body. That's what happened.
I've got tons of cracked teeth. I've never gotten one.
I gotta find
I get
out.
punched in the face like 3 times a week.
I got to find out if this back tooth is connected to diarrhea. We might be onto something here, right? Then we might be getting something. I might get it pulled and just see what happens. It's the back tooth too, so it wouldn't fuck anything up. Like, what is it going to fuck up?
Chewing?
I still got other teeth.
I just chew away from a couple of the bad ones.
Everyone's got a strong side when you chew. Everyone chews on one side more than the other.
Oh, brother. You know, it's wild. That used to be me until I got braces. And then it's like, I was like, this is how everyone's bite's supposed to be, perfectly even. This is insane. It's wild.
So now you chew both ways?
Oh, yeah, dude, it's perfect. Like, I used to have one where if I bit, my bite was too tight on one side, and I would be like, that's the fucking, I can really get down on that side. And now it's perfectly even, like across. It's wild.
I definitely don't.
Yeah, but
I had to pay big dentists tons of money.
That's the big conspiracy, though. How many dentists are over drilling your teeth?
Or just doing little cavities. Or even just saying they're doing cavities.
The answer's not 0.
100%.
It's not 0. There's some people giving out root canals when you might not need that root canal.
Even doing fillings.
I just wonder if it comes down to like experience, like for some dentists where it's like, or their training, they're being like, yeah, I look at this and I see that this is probably the best option here is root canal. And you go to another dentist, like, well, no, I've kind of seen this stuff before and maybe you don't really need it. And like, we can do this and we can do that later. It can also be like what if the dentist doesn't want to treat it right now? Cause like, well, we'll just do a fill and see if that works. And then, get money there, then get money for the root canal later.
What's it like in the States, Dan? Cause here, most people have just generally bad.
Didn't even, that was the fastest I've ever heard you answer a question. Not even thinking.
In great detail.
He didn't even finish the question. How is America? Terrible.
No, but like in Canada, most people
we're just talking about dentistry.
Just the current state of America is terrible. No, but in Canada, most people who
it's not much better here.
Are employed have some type of dental coverage, at least for like regular maintenance and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if not, now we've got like government funded programs.
Yeah, but you gotta be poor. Like if you're poor, you can get some government.
You got to actually be like obscenely poor.
Poverty.
It's crazy how little money you have to make to get
under the poverty line of the poverty line is where that's how you get free dentistry.
You can't even be getting assistance.
I think what was it? I read it like encapsulated best by somebody who was like that teeth in America are rich people bones. They're like
organs.
They're non-necessary. Yeah, they're non-necessary organs because they're not covered under medical. Like they're not covered under medical insurance. But the fact is that if you do get a tooth removed or you're not able to treat your tooth, that leads to other.
It's part of other sort of medical. Yeah, we talked about it. It's part of your overall health, starting in your mouth.
100% it is.
That ties into what Andrew said, though, pretty good. Then, if it is known and there's studies that are being suppressed that your oral health is so important because it links to so many other issues, would it not make sense for Big Pharma to push that these aren't important? And we're not covering them because the worse these are, the more chronic illnesses people get that we can treat.
Well, that would be like if you could get it treated, but it's like. I would say like here it's more of a matter of being like, okay, you can if you can't get it treated or treat it, competently or whatever, you get it treated enough. Like it ends up leading to a lot of other, and like the studies you're saying that are being suppressed, these studies are like relatively new about people being like linking like your oral health, like, the health of your jaw, your teeth, all these things are becoming more and more upfront and being like, hey, like, we need to pay more attention to this stuff.
Yeah, but like the cheaper alternative in these situations is just pull the fucking tooth, not doing the root canal.
Yeah, and it's like, you can pull the tooth, and if that's the cheapest way. Is like, they give you the option. Do you just want to pull it, or do you want to go in the hole and like rebuild the tooth and stuff like that? And there's been studies done that's been like, well, you can pull a tooth, it's fine. Like you pull the tooth, yeah, all right. But the thing is that a lot of times what that can lead to other problems because it will be, like I said before, like you'll. Braden said, like your jaw will adjust, and it'll end up putting more, it can end up like imbalancing your bite, and then, you know, the way you chew, the way you work your mouth, like it'll change a whole bunch of stuff, and usually for the worse. Like you're not able to chew evenly, and so that will put more pressure on other parts of your mouth. So
40% of the NHL can handle it, I'm sure.
I just pulled it up.
Millions of dollars and can get like health,
they have
really good dental
dentists
care.
that just take care of their teeth.
Sweden is considered to have the best like dental health in the world, and they're number 8 in healthiest countries, right behind Singapore, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Israel, Norway, and Iceland. So it's like, is there a link that like their outstanding oral health is like contributing to
it should be
their
number one in
societies?
healthcare then, in overall life expectancy.
Yeah, but there's other factors probably too that like you can't consider.
You live in Sweden where there's no sun most of the year.
I mean, yeah. I think what's more interesting was some of the treatments, and I've seen it pop up every now and then. It's like in the last couple months or whatever. It's what they're talking about. I know I'm pretty sure it was in Japan, like a team of dentists, or not dentists, but like it's tooth doctors, whatever. They have a way to like orthodontists, or they can regrow teeth. Like I keep seeing that, like where they have like a process that they're
lab grown.
they're starting to be like, they can regrow the tooth like from inside them out, like a treatment that can just regrow the tooth, which I'm like, that is something that will fundamentally upset,
like a stem cell treatment of some kind,
all of that stuff, and we'll see like what's
gonna
really,
get shelved.
it goes down.
Big dent.
100%.
That's what I'm saying. So keep an eye on that. Like that's what we need to keep an eye on, is those kinds of things. But yeah, I don't know. It's like in America, I assume from what you guys have explained to me, it's kind of the same as it is kind of in Canada.
Same kind
it's
of
like,
system, yeah.
Yeah, it's dentistry is outside of normal. It's considered like outside of normal healthcare. It's you know, if you can't,
your teeth are considered outside your body.
Yeah.
Like in Canada,
not essential. Yeah, they're not
Canada
essential
has
bones or
universal
organs,
healthcare. You know, I mean, it has its flaws, but for the most part, you have universal healthcare. As you get sick, you're probably going to get treated. If you need a knee surgery, you might have to wait 5 years. But if you're going to get sick, you're probably going to get treated, but they're not going to treat your teeth. You're going to pay for those. You got to pay for that shit.
Listen, not.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's just, you know, I don't know.
Like
if they did,
it's
like
going to be one of those things like 50 years ago, they're like lead paint. Lead paint, no, it's cheap to produce. Yeah. It does a really nice coating on everything.
Yeah.
And then 50 years from now, they're like, hey, well, we used to tell people like, we didn't realize that, it was actually 99% of heart disease was contributed to your mouth.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Are you sick? Just rip a few cigs and do some cocaine, and you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. Yeah, no problem. You go to the dentist, Novocaine.
Not good.
Well, yeah. I mean,
good, but not good.
Fun.
Yeah, but not good.
When I got
it'd
my
be interesting to see how much
wisdom tooth out,
they gave you a bunch of cocaine.
No, they weren't going to give me any drugs, and I made a big stink. I was like, I'm very anxious. I'm upset. I don't want to do the surgery. I'm going to need some Ativan.
I need it.
I'm going to need it. And they went.
And they're like, how about some Dilaudid instead?
And they're like, they finally relented and went like, we'll give you one. I was like, oh,
buddy, I was munching on those things for my vasectomy. It was the best.
How do you get those? Fuck, you stole them or what?
No. Fuck no. I got them.
You stole them.
No, I went to the doctor because when I was going on the flight, I was like, planes make me scared. I just wanted to try and sleep.
Planes make me scared. He gave you Ativan? That's a doctor right there.
I'm going to die.
That's a doctor in cahoots with Big Pharma, that guy.
100%. Yeah.
Here's that. Yeah. You know, you're going to go one flight. Here's a prescription, an unlimited refill prescription of Ativan for you.
No, there wasn't a lot. I genuinely do get scared of planes, though.
Everyone's a little scared of a plane.
No, but I'm
Andrew's big scared.
Yeah,
scared of a plane.
I flew with you. It was fine. You were fine.
It lurches forward a little bit.
He's like,
where was mine? You didn't offer me none.
No, I was. The only time I've ever taken it is for the vasectomy.
He was on BK chicken fries.
I definitely needed it for the vasectomy. I almost had a panic attack. Died.
That's what I mean, dude. It made my experience phenomenal. Like I would have been a wreck otherwise. I also had free.
You sure the panic attack was from the vasectomy, not the root canal? Or?
Yeah, that's a good call, Denzel. Denzel, let's go.
Yeah, it'll be. I just think as like a society, especially like in the West here, both the States and Canada, we should be pushing to have it's your health. Dentistry should be part of your just health.
Your basic maintenance should be part of it.
It shouldn't be fucking separate, right? Like, it'd be like insane. Like, it's just crazy to me that they're like,
what do you mean? You want coverage for this? We're already putting fluoride in the water to take care of these problems. What else do you want from us?
Throwing some neurotoxins in the water to decrease the cavity chance by 20%.
Yeah.
You know what? Dentistry should be covered, right? At least the basic stuff. If you want a Nazi swastika encrusted grill like Kanye West or whatever, that's probably shouldn't be.
That guy's fucking crazy.
Guys, I don't know what happened.
That guy's insane, man.
It's entertaining. If that's what he's going for, it's working. It's entertaining.
It's crazy.
Worrisome.
yeah, it's great. It is crazy.
Guys
Like
should be institutionalized.
Yeah,
I mean,
anyone else
is
like you look at the
you make so
pattern
much
of
money, you can do
behavior.
anything.
It's fucking crazy that nobody stepped in yet. Like you see that, and then you see fucking Britney Spears dancing with knives and underwear, and you're like, these people are fucking not okay.
I get how people were. Somebody I was talking to at work was saying that, like, we were talking about Kanye West, and they're like, he's like, oh no, he's just he just recently, like, he just started going crazy. I'm like, no, do you guys do you not remember Donda Academy? Do you guys not remember that?
He was
Does no
fucking.
one remember that? That shit.
He was in
wild.
He was in a serious fucking car
He
accident.
made all the kids eat sushi on the floor. Like, like
here's
that's
a
why
question.
they eat it. And they
Here's a
only
question
eat
for
sushi
Kanye
every
West.
day.
How many root canals has Kanye West had?
Well, dude,
all of them.
He had his whole jaw destroyed in a car accident. He had his jaw wired shut. I guarantee you, he had some major dental surgery.
I just remember that the real question that I had for this entire podcast. I remember, like, before it came on, I was like, I gotta ask. Okay, when did we stop using the trope that when people got tooth work done, they could hear radio signals? Do you remember that being a thing, like in cartoons? You remember in cartoons all the time? It was like some kid,
we get mercury
some kid
and
would
metal.
get braces, or they would
you
get
get
like
the fillings,
and they'd
metal
be like,
fillings.
they could hear the radio. And whatever happened to that? What happened to the people who could hear the
people
radio?
realized that putting
generation of
mercury in your
dads probably
teeth-
died.
Yeah,
Porcelain.
They died from that.
Those are grandpa jokes.
There was like a book. There was like a kid's book. Like,
So you're saying
about
that
a kid who
100%
picked
of
that
people
up.
who got fillings died?
Well, I got it. No.
They're all
No,
dead.
The grandpas are the ones that made those
Slow poisoning.
jokes.
You know, that's another question to ask this guy who made the documentary.
The only way to
Does he have any
treat
mercury
100% of
fillings?
people who are born die. I'll tell you that. Right
That
now.
Dan
You know
has a
the way to
perfect
treat-
stat there.
Do you know the way to treat fillings though? Fucking toffee. Only way to get them out. Every fucking time.
I was like, where's he going with this? Treat a filling?
Pull 'em right out, buddy.
Jujubes, man.
Toffee.
Jujubes, pop those in there.
Remember that toffee that came in the red box? That little thin
yeah.
red box?
I think I can pull that. I
That'd
think
take
I
a
had it.
whole mouthful of fucking fillings out.
I had a jujube that pulled the filling out. I think.
Yeah.
I pulled the crown off my tooth with Starburst.
Or no, it was two. It was the only one to get rid of my teeth.
Starburst to do it.
That was probably like a month ago too, which is amazing.
No, it was like
just
it was,
the bag
no, it was a while
Starburst.
ago. I'm healthy now, boys. I'm almost back in game shape. No joke. I'm almost there.
Game shape for what?
Yeah, what game?
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
Fortnite?
No way. I'm fucking back on the gym.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck yeah.
Well, hey, Zell, do we have Patreon supporters? Let's wrap this one up. Take it into after hours.
We have 3 Patreon supporters. I'll read them.
Yeah!
Fucking go, baby.
Yes.
We're back.
This is back to old days. This is back to OG times.
Back to 2017 when we started.
Yeah.
Every
to
Patreon
roots.
matters, though.
Cause.
You're all the same. You're all equally as important.
Love you all.
These beauties went to alientheorist.com. They hit the support tab, went to Patreon. They didn't sign up on Apple from the App Store.
Nice.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Even though I guess there was a lawsuit settled in the States saying that Apple can't do that. So that might be a thing of the past, but I'm not sure. So still don't do that.
Yeah.
Just don't give Tim Apple any more money.
Fuck that. This week we got Jose Gonzalez, Wyatt Halliday, and William T. Timms
Let's go, T-Tims.
supporting the show, keeping the lights on. We appreciate it.
And as we always say at the end of these things, keep those eyes on the skies.
You gotta go, Andrew? Fucking take off. Go to bed.
I just watched a video of a monkey seeing his fucking family again for the first time. Like people raised him, and he like ran up. He's all depressed and ran up and like hugged him. And oh man,
Who's that? Who?
It's fucking just get you.
Dude, sometimes I see videos of animals doing something so like human-like. I go, man, I eat these motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, like those ostriches. Yeah, those your uncle's ostriches that I didn't know cured COVID.
They're immune to all disease.
We got to do a whole case file on that.
That was insane. That article?
No, listen. We got
that article's insane.
That's why I sent it to the group. I forgot all about it.
My uncle would call in.
We're doing a case file on that.
He'll call in.
Dan, did you read that? Did you read that article? That article claims that these 400 ostriches are fucking immune to COVID, and they use those ostrich blood for the cure for COVID.
Yeah, listen,
and these 400 specific ostriches,
they have theoretically cured a lot of stuff with the ostrich blood. I'll tell you what.
I was like, what the fuck? What?
Zell, we got to do this. We've got the inside. My Uncle Dave, track.
He'll call in. He's a con man, but he'll call in and he'll tell a story.
Sure.
He's
we got to do it.
I think he's gone bankrupt like 14 times.
Amazing.
Something like that. It might be less, might be more. I can't
deep
remember.
State keeping him down.
My dad's he's called my dad so many times asking for money for a new venture.
I love it.
My dad gave him some money a couple times, and he's like, "Dave, come on, man." He's like, "Yeah."
Is it your dad's brother or your mom's?
There's a stepbrother, actually. Oh. It's technically, it's not a blood uncle, but step uncle, I guess.
Your dad has the opportunity to get in at the ground floor.
Yeah. That's part of the pitch every time.
300%.
That's part of the pitch.
This is it. This is the one.
Dude, he's like, you can get in. You know, these ostrich pharmaceuticals are going to cure like aging, and they're going to be de-wrinkle cream. And
where did that come from? Where does this ostrich?
I don't know, dude.
All from these 400 ostriches in Kelowna, Dan.
Yep. And now they're going to kill them because none of them have the flu anymore, but they're going to kill them anyway. Because they cured COVID.
We got to do a fucking podcast on that. Have to.
Is that like an ostrich farming big in Kelowna?
We should do next week. Ostriches.
It's not even in Kelowna. It's actually in this tiny little town called
Isn't that Lytton?
I lost it.
Lytton?
Edgewood.
It's not in Lytton. Lytton.
Edgewood. Yeah.
Dude, Lytton burnt down.
Oh yeah, that's
Lytton is gone.
Edgewood's like a tiny town of like 200 people, about 3-hour drive from here. Which be considered like the Kootenay region of British Columbia. So just mountains and nothing. Like it's Bigfoot country. Nothing.
And
there.
ostriches.
But for some reason,
400.
My uncle and a couple of his business partners started this ostrich farm because someone convinced them that the ostrich like excretions or something could make like face cream. That was the initial thing.
Amazing.
It's like you're spreading like blended pureed ostrich flesh or something on your face. It was supposed to be the next like big like beauty cream.
What?
Which I guess they have like they have like a
COVID.
small production thing, and they do sell some of this, and it is kind of profitable.
Every
It's not like making them millions of
the people that bought from them, all 45 people that bought from them didn't get COVID, and then they put it together.
Yeah. 100% of those people are still alive.
But when I was,
don't quote me on that.
I used to, so my grandma used to live in the town called Fauquier, which is another very small town, just like Edgewood, 20 minutes away with a little ferry, and we used to eat ostrich eggs for breakfast.
Okay, was it like Flintstones eggs?
Yeah, I was doing this. Like
the ostrich egg is this big.
It's huge.
Oh, that's cool. Did it taste like normal eggs?
It's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
It's a little fattier, I think. From what I haven't had one in a while, but one ostrich egg is like 15 regular eggs.
Like I'm getting hungry for ostrich
eggs.
Oh,
really? Holy fuck.
So one ostrich, and they do lay eggs, not as regularly as like a chicken, but they lay eggs like unfertilized the same way. But there's this, it's just a chicken that's 100 times bigger. It's the fucking weirdest animal, dude.
We got to do something on it.
And they're somehow resilient to the cold, even though they're not from here at all.
They're super bird, buddy.
They're super bird.
They're raptors.
They're actually insane. They're way bigger. They're bigger than you think they are.
Oh, they're huge.
They're fucking huge. And they actually can run like almost cheetah speed. Really? Like they're so fucking fast. It's insane.
Quite fast.
But it's the more, it may be the most, if there's like, if you go around the world for like random little businesses, it's maybe up there in the top 10 worldwide of why this ostrich farm exists where it does and what they're trying to do with it.
I love it.
So now there's like a whole activist community that might go to war with like the government to because they're going to come and exterminate them.
They're saying it's going to be
flu.
like fucking Ottawa.
Yeah, they're going to people are going to come and park there and not let them kill the birds. It's going to be a huge thing.
Oh, so they're trying to cull the birds. Right?
Well, they're because of the bird flu, and so they have hundreds of birds on this farm, and 40 of them died from the flu.
Okay,
but that was 6 months ago now, and no one's sick now, but there's still, this has been in court and gone back and forth, but now they've just gave the order that they're going to kill all these birds just in case someone could harbor the flu virus, even though it's not around anymore.
No, I mean, it's also be like, it's in the middle of nowhere.
That's what I mean. And they don't, and the thing is, and their main thing is why they haven't been killed yet is like, they can't fly and they don't leave.
Yeah, no shit.
It's not like a group of fucking like ducks got on there and they had to kill the ducks because they're going to fly somewhere and die and someone else is going to get sick. Yeah. Like these birds are in giant, with 10-foot fences. Like there's huge fences around this whole property.
But if they get out of there, they're gone. They're so fast, you ain't catching them.
If they get out of there, they're going to be killed by mountain lions.
As soon as they figure out how to open those doors, we're toast.
Clever girl.
Anyways, it's so random.
The Kanye West shit though, like the fucking Hail Hitler song, I was like,
what? Yeah, what's going on with that?
Whoa.
Dude?
I was like, why do you have to make that so fucking catchy?
Because he's a musical genius.
Why do you have a bunch of fucking dudes dressed like wolves singing it? Like nothing makes sense.
I didn't see that.
Didn't they just say like a bunch of hackers released they leaked his newest album? It's just labeled "cuck" or something like.
Yeah, something like that, dude. All the song names, all the song names are
today.
It's like
earlier.
It's like Diddy,
his thing,
Cosby, fucking cousins, and that's about the one where him and his cousin sucked each other off till he was 14.
I wonder what he's gonna sing about Diddy. He's probably gonna sing about these parties because. Man, that's some fucked up shit.
The Diddy shit's crazy.
But like the interesting
shit is fucking nuts.
Dude, Kanye West, first off, crazy, insane. That's what happens when you have too much money mixed with like probably some sort of brain injury from the car accident, But like, I thought it was interesting. People bring the point where they were like, "Well, why is his song banned? Like, why is that song banned? But you can sing about Satan, you can sing about fucking anything else on Spotify. There's songs about Pol Pot. There's bands called Khmer Rouge.
Pol Pot.
Why can't he have that song?
Statistically, probably worse, maybe."
Yeah, right. And they're like, "Why can't him?"
It's
and
going
like
after a certain demographic, Braden.
But his argument is that certain demographic is controlling all these things.
100%.
And so then I'm like, when they're doing that to him and deplatforming him on everything, I'm like, are you not
right?
Just
he's proving his point.
Are you not just like proving his point that this is in fact exactly what he's saying? Like, it's like I don't know. Like he's I mean, the guy's a musical genius. Like, everything else aside.
Also, he'd be like, they're private companies. They can do whatever they want.
100% owned by certain people.
100%, right? 100%, but they don't.
Spotify is definitely not Jewish. There's no way. That's a Swedish company.
The world is.
Yeah.
The world
right?
is.
But like,
the world owner. They're Jewish.
To me, I'm like, it's just, I'm like, who fucking cares? Like, just don't ban the song. It's only going to make it more popular.
So where can you listen to it?
Not if you can't hear it anywhere. They've done a pretty good job of like torching it from everything.
Yeah.
But it's out. People have ripped it. But
it's crazy. You're right, though.
You can get it from the hackers, and they said all proceeds go to the Holocaust Museum.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I mean, it's just crazy because you're right. It's like, yeah, it's a terrible song. He's singing about stupid things. Shouldn't be saying horrible things. But like, there are musicians who have been guilty of far worse. We listen to the music every day. You literally listen to I'll Be Missing You and you find out that Diddy made his battered ex fucking girlfriend rub other dude's semen on his nipples.
Dude, that trial is fucking insane.
I've only heard
holy fuck,
I'm on the
dude.
surface level on that, but it's fucking seems
holy
insane.
Shit, dude. So remember we talked about this guy. We talked about that fucking guy who ran into the Trump hotel, lit shit on fire. He was like, Diddy's making me have sex parties and no one have. Cassie just fucking named him in the fucking trial, which means that guy, he's in jail right now for what he did, but everything he said was true. All the crazy shit was like this crazy guy went in there.
Everything crazy about Diddy was true. Yes, he talked a bunch of shit about Donald Trump and stuff too.
Yes, but everything he said about Diddy was true, and Cassie mentioned him by name in her testimony.
This guy peed in my mouth because Diddy told him to. Like horrible,
and you're like,
the worst stuff,
horrible stuff.
Holy
horrible
fuck,
stuff.
dude, insane.
Like this poor woman. Dude, it's fucking horrific, man.
What? I'm just saying. Quickly,
say it.
I'm just saying, Diddy may have got me at one party. If I was his if I was a female and I was his girlfriend, maybe one. I didn't know what's happening.
Did a couple little bit of drugs.
System. There you go. You're kind of stuck. Fool me once, You know what I mean? He fooled me once, all right.
She loved him for the most part, but he also owned her mother's property, all that type of shit.
Yeah,
He's
so they get you,
a
right?
smart man. He knew what he was doing, and he knew how to fucking weave her in.
And he kept toying that fucking record.
Yeah, man. Like, don't get me wrong.
For
Like,
him? Yeah.
I got she did some fucking pretty crazy shit. You had to agree to do it in the first place, but still, it's fucked up. She was in it. Yeah. She was like a fucking a torture victim essentially.
She had like Stockholm syndrome. She's a slave in the way. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like he abused power completely.
People like Diddy like that, they know exactly how to manipulate you and control your every part of your life. He
built a career on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
He literally.
That's why they have a fucking RICO case against him alone. It's insane. Yeah. Normally reserved for like criminal organizations.
Dude,
they have it just for him.
Right from the beginning of his career too. Like me and Braden. I can't remember. Did we do an actual case file on it, or did we just do after hours?
I don't know if we did an after hours or a fucking.
But we got into it. Dude, it's crazy. This guy's got an entire fucking legacy of fucking shit.
Well, there's no way if they got a RICO case against Diddy, it's because Diddy has a network.
He is the only.
He's the Epstein of hip hop, man.
He is the only.
Yeah, but is it one of those scenarios where it's like it's P Diddy, but it's P Diddy Incorporated or something? Like it's like him and all the subsidiaries.
So normally a RICO case, it'll be like they'll have a RICO case against a group, Hell's Angels, and they'll have that RICO case about all loosely connected crimes under the banner of Hell's Angels, and they get a whole bunch of people that were involved, right, in the criminal enterprise, and that. They have a RICO case under Diddy, and it's just basically crimes that Diddy did, and it's like he is the organization, the peak, and all his little subservients underneath him. But they're saying that everything, like using the term like Hell's Angels for organized crime, is Diddy.
That's what I mean.
He is the peak.
So he's Diddy as the name for his organization.
He's the kingpin. Yeah, he is the kingpin of and he's going to go down for all of this. He's never going to see the light of day again.
Fucking wild.
And it's just starting. Like, we're just cracking into this.
Yeah. Well, didn't they just call a mistrial? No, that was the fucking Hockey Canada one.
Yeah. That's crazy, too.
They mistrial. They elected a new jury. Then they disbanded the jury, and it's going to go judge only.
Well, but did you see the chick? Like, again, Vic, we get it, but did you see her text messages and stuff? Like, they pretty explicitly were like, "Are you sure you're into this? Do you want to do this?" And she's like, "Let her rip."
Well, even her lawyer, because I kind of loosely read it, her lawyer said that yes, she said all that stuff, but she was so drunk she didn't know she was saying it. That's the defense.
Yeah,
and that's.
Did you read what they did? They like shot golf balls.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah.
They put golf.
What do you mean
balls.
shot?
They went
golf
full
balls?
Fucking Happy Gilmore.
They did some stuff.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And like her text messages of like someone's got to fuck me and like all this crazy shit, and then the defense is like she was just so drunk or on drugs or whatever that she doesn't know she was saying it.
Text messages were like,
Dan, for you and everyone else that doesn't know, in 2018 the World Junior Canadian men's hockey team,
which is under 20,
basically under 20. They brought a girl back to the hotel and
one
slept
guy
with
did.
her. One guy did, and then a group of them ended up sleeping with her. And it came out like last year that because she went to the police, Hockey Canada tried to sweep it under the rug, offered her bribe money, and Hockey Canada is a huge fucking organization, and they used the registration money from kids playing hockey to try to pay off.
Every team pays a Hockey Canada like premium.
Yeah,
and they were using this to try to as hush money.
Yeah.
And this girl basically said no and then brought this to trial. But statistically speaking, the fact this is terrible for her and her case that it's going judge only, because honestly, it's terrible to say, especially in Canada, all sex assault ones, like I know there's fucking always like the Me Too movements and like believe victims and stuff, but like it comes down to credibility. And it's a he said, she said, and there's text, and there's no way, even looking at what we've seen in the case so far, that any judge alone is going to sit and be like, I have no doubt at all. Because it's not, no shadow of a doubt. You cannot have a single doubt that, and if you do, you have to acquit. And there's just no way with judge alone. With the jury, you can kind of, a lot of times you can like kind of impassion them, right? Of like play to their humanity and stuff and get a guilty verdict that way, because they'll overlook the, you get that feel. So it's not good for her case that it's going judge alone. But I mean, dude, terrible stuff. Like, holy,
It's fucked
none
up.
of those guys are playing pro.
The worst one was the 2008 one on the pool table.
Yeah, that was brutal.
With the TSN guy, they borrowed his camera and they left the video on it and shit. That girl didn't press charges because she got paid and she wants nothing to do with a public case of any sort.
Yeah.
And she just said,
Yeah.
that was 20 years ago. It was terrible. I never want to talk about it again. And there's been, I think it was 30 cases since like 85, which was when the tournament started. Not on this level, I don't think, but on some level, someone got some money for something that shouldn't have been done.
Yeah, just don't be a piece of shit.
Just don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Apparently that's really hard.
Especially now. Well, especially now, you're a Canadian hockey player. I mean, huge publicity. You can't do that, especially now.
That's it. There's a
maybe they had root canals blocking the midichlorians.
Yeah, how many root canals did those players
piece
have?
Of shit. Like,
That's what I mean. That's what I want to know.
How many root canals did she have?
Yeah.
Maybe she wasn't mentally sound. Fucking wild.
Checks out.
All right, boys. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, let's wrap this one up.
Let's wrap it up. That was fun.
All right. Next week, ostriches.
Yes.
The curious case of the Edgewood Ostrich Farm.
Oh, that's a great name.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I bet you. I see if I can get my uncle to call in. He's like
Do it.
Yeah, Dan's gone next week.
Dude, he's a
so we can
legit-
get him in.
not
Or the
criminal
week
con
after.
man, but he's a con man. You know, he's gonna get your money. You're not gonna get it back. He's legally gonna get your money to invest in something stupid,
This is the one.
and you're not gonna get it back. And he's a genius at it. He's now 75 years old.
Yeah.
So he's not really. This was
he's been
this was
doing
his
it.
last ditch effort for money. He's
got one more.
He's not gonna
He's got
get it.
one
He's
more. We're switching to emus.
a little smaller bird, you know, easier.
Yeah, it's smaller, more compact.
All right, peace, everybody.
All right, peace.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 16th through the 26th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.